So there's this YouTube video about surviving an animal attack, right? And it currently has 93 million views.
Wow, 93 million. That is massive.
It is. But here is the crazy part. It has no charismatic host, no shiny studio, and absolutely no on-camera talent.
Right.
It was built entirely by a channel called Brightside, which boasts 44.7 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And they achieved that scale without ever showing a single human face.
Yeah, I mean, it completely shatters the traditional understanding of what makes content successful. We are so conditioned to believe that digital media is entirely driven by personality.
Oh, exactly. The vlogging era.
Right, by these intense parasocial relationships with creators. And yet, well, the data tells a completely different story today.
Okay, let's unpack this, because our mission for this deep dive is to look at the 2026 reality of building a highly profitable, faceless channel.
Yeah, it's about time we looked at the actual mechanics.
For sure. So we are pulling together data from creator guides, legal blogs, software breakdowns, and financial reports. We want to give you, the listener, a clear, hype-free blueprint of what actually works today.
Oh.
Because looking at the sheer volume of views channels like Brightside are pulling in, it is obvious this is no longer just a workaround for, like, camera-shy creators.
No, not at all.
It is a massively scalable business model.
It really is. And because of that scale, the space is currently flooded with a lot of noise and unrealistic promises.
Oh, the get-rich-quick stuff.
Exactly. We really need to separate the marketing hype from the operational reality.
Which makes me highly skeptical right out of the gate, I have to admit.
Fair enough.
Because we have seen a massive influx of artificial intelligence over the last year or so. I'm talking about AI scriptwriters, AI voiceovers, AI video generators.
Oh yeah, the tools are everywhere.
Right, so if I can just push a button and have an AI spit out a video, aren't these faceless channels just turning into spammy content farms?
Well,
I mean, who is actually going to sit there and watch a robot read a Wikipedia article about bears?
what's fascinating here is that YouTube's algorithm engineers asked that exact same question.
Wait, really? They did?
Yeah, they did. And they took severe action. Their 2026 policies have explicitly banned a practice they categorize as lazy automation.
Oh, wow. Lazy automation.
Right. The platform's detection systems are incredibly sophisticated now. If you try to just, plug a generic prompt into ChatGPT,
Yeah.
run that text through an automatic video compiler, and upload it, your channel will be shadow banned or demonetized almost instantly.
Just immediately shut.
Pretty much. The channels that are actually generating six figures today are treating AI as an accelerator, not as a replacement for human oversight. You just you cannot replace the creative direction.
So the AI is essentially the film crew, but you still have to be the director sitting in the chair calling the shots.
Exactly. You have to build a real business structure around the content.
And if we treat this like a legitimate business,
Yeah.
we have to look at the foundational decision that dictates whether a channel will make $10,000 a month
Yeah.
or absolutely nothing.
Yep. The most crucial choice.
We need to talk about the niche.
The niche is everything. It all comes down to the brutal, unforgiving math of RPM, or revenue per mil.
Right. Which, for anyone unfamiliar, RPM is the metric that dictates exactly what YouTube pays you per 1,000 views on your video.
Mm-hmm. And crucially, this is the number after YouTube takes their standard 45% cut of the ad revenue.
That's a big cut.
It is. But that RPM is the absolute bottom line of your business.
So, looking at the data from Fluxnote and Streamstoria, the variance in that bottom line between different niches is just staggering.
Oh, it's night and day.
Finance and insurance channels currently boast an RPM somewhere between $15 and $50.
Which is huge.
But if you start a gaming channel, your RPM sits at just $2 to $5.
Yeah, it's really low.
Let's put that into perspective for you. If your goal is to make $1,000 a month, a true crime channel needs to generate about 125,000 views. But a gaming channel needs nearly 300,000 views to make that exact same $1,000.
It completely shifts the required workload. You have one creator sweating over the algorithm, trying to go viral just to pay their rent,
Right.
while another creator is quietly pulling in the same revenue with less than half the audience.
I think of it like opening a retail store. It's treating your RPM like inventory.
Okay, I like that.
If you sell high-value Rolex watches, which represents your finance niche, you need to convince far fewer customers to walk through your door to hit your revenue goal.
Makes sense.
But if you are selling 50-cent candy bars, which is the gaming niche, you need a massive, constant stampede of foot traffic just to keep the lights on.
That is a perfect analogy.
Well, I was reading through the blueprint from a prominent creator known as Make Money Matt, and his critical rule is to always start with an educational money channel.
Right, the money channels.
He insists you focus on wealth, health, or technology, rather than an entertainment channel. His reasoning is that educational content solves an immediate, painful problem for the viewer.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it explains the underlying mechanics of why this massive RPM discrepancy exists in the first place.
Yeah, why is finance so much higher?
YouTube doesn't just arbitrarily decide finance is better than gaming. It's driven entirely by advertiser intent.
Oh, the ad buyers.
Exactly. Think about the companies buying those ad slots. Banks, insurance firms, corporate lawyers.
Right, deep pockets.
Massive marketing budgets, and they are fighting tooth and nail for high-intent buyers. If a viewer is actively searching for a video about, say, the best high-yield savings accounts in 2026,
Yeah.
that viewer is highly likely to actually open an account. The advertiser is willing to pay a premium because the conversion rate is practically guaranteed.
Because the viewer's already primed to buy.
Exactly. Gaming audiences, conversely, are incredibly broad, often younger, and generally have much lower purchasing intent.
Right. A teenager watching a Minecraft stream isn't about to buy a complex financial product.
No, so advertisers bid significantly less for their attention.
Okay, so we follow the advertiser money, we pick the high RPM educational niche, and we solve people's problems. That makes perfect logical sense. But let's look at the actual production. How are solo creators producing this professional, documentary-level content without spending 40 hours a week trapped inside an editing timeline?
Well, this is where the 2026 AI production stack really shines, provided you understand how to allocate your budget.
Okay, let's break down the actual costs.
Sure. If you try to run a budget setup, you're looking at about $47 a month.
That's not bad.
It's not, but a premium stack giving you enterprise-level API access and unlimited generations will run you about $180.
Okay, quite a jump.
Yeah, but the creator data shows us that the absolute sweet spot is right in the middle, about $78 a month.
Wait, why $70 specifically? What makes that the magic number?
Because $47 leaves you dealing with watermarks, low-resolution exports, and severe limitations on how many minutes of AI video you can actually generate.
So it throttles your business.
Exactly. On the flip side, $180 buys you enterprise features that a solo creator simply doesn't need to utilize yet.
Ah, I see.
That $78 tier gives you just enough premium generation time to produce 4 to 5 high-quality, high-resolution videos a month without wasting capital.
And it enables what these creators call the 2-hour batch system.
Yes, the batching is huge.
This completely changes the lifestyle of a YouTuber. Imagine sitting down on a Sunday afternoon and in the span of one sitting, generating the scripts, the visual assets, and the thumbnails for 5 entire videos.
It's incredible.
Your entire month of content produced in an afternoon.
But to achieve that kind of speed without sacrificing quality, creators have moved past typing generic requests into these tools.
Right, they aren't just saying, hey, make a video about money.
No, not at all. For visuals, they rely heavily on Midjourney, which is an advanced AI image generator. But they don't just ask for a picture of a bank.
Okay.
They use a rigid mathematical prompting formula: subject, action, setting, style, and color.
Wow, that's specific.
It has to be. This guarantees visual consistency across every single frame of the video. Then they take those assets into tools like NVIDIA AI V3, which handles the video assembly.
Oh, in video, I've heard of that one.
It's powerful. It has reached a point where you can request highly specific cinematic styles like, make this look like a Disney Pixar animation, and it complies flawlessly.
That's wild.
Even more impressively, if you want to tap into an international market, it can translate your fully completed English video into fluent French, syncing the lip movements and text graphics with a single text prompt.
A single prompt. The localization potential alone is staggering.
It really is.
But for me, the most fascinating evolution is the voiceovers. Because a few years ago, you could spot a robotic AI voice from a mile away.
Oh, definitely. The classic robot voice.
It sounded stiff and unnatural. But today, the gap between paid and free AI voices has completely vanished. Microsoft's Clipchamp currently offers 2 voices, named Ava and Andrew, which provide incredibly reliable mid-video consistency.
Yeah, they're great.
But the absolute standout is a tool called NoteGPT. This software literally simulates the tiny, almost imperceptible mouth sounds and the natural inhales of a human taking a breath between sentences.
I know it sounds like a minor detail, but mechanically, it is brilliant.
Right.
Because the first 30 seconds of a video dictate whether a viewer stays or clicks away.
Mm-hmm.
By engineering the audio to include human breathing patterns, the software triggers a subconscious sense of familiarity and trust in the listener's brain. They feel like they are listening to an authority figure, not an algorithm.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
If these all-in-one tools like NVIDIA or Vervid are so incredibly capable,
Yeah.
I mean, if they can animate, assemble, and translate everything for you with a single click, why do I see so many high-level creators deliberately avoiding them?
That's a great observation.
Why do they painstakingly generate images in Midjourney, clone human voices in 11 Labs, and then manually stitch it all together on an editing timeline like CapCut? Why take on the extra labor when an all-in-one tool exists?
Well, it comes down to matching your tool stack to your monetization format.
Okay.
All-in-one tools are unparalleled if your strategy relies on vertical, fast-paced shorts. If you are trying to hit YouTube's monetization threshold of 10 million views in 90 days, you need volume.
Right, you just need to pump them out.
And those tools provide that volume. However, if you are building a high RPM finance channel, you are likely producing cinematic 10-minute deep dives.
Long-form content.
Exactly. Visual pacing, comedic timing, and narrative tension are paramount to retaining the viewer there. An all-in-one automated tool simply does not give you the granular frame-by-frame control required to keep a human being engaged for 10 uninterrupted minutes.
That makes total sense.
You need specialized tools. Midjourney for pristine art, 11 Labs for nuanced vocal inflection, and CapCut to physically arrange the timeline to really orchestrate that experience.
So, the all-in-one tools are a sledgehammer, but long-form content requires a scalpel.
Great way to put it.
That clarifies the production side. But beautiful AI footage paired with a perfectly engineered AI voice still won't make a dime if the script is terrible.
Obviously.
How do these creators actually structure their writing and their business model to ensure they get paid?
The scripting process is where the human director truly takes the reins. Successful faceless creators are leaning heavily on tools like Perplexity.ai Pro.
I use that one all the time.
It's fantastic. It acts as an advanced research assistant, synthesizing complex topics into digestible data. But they apply strict structural rules to that research.
Like what?
The data shows that the sweet spot for a long-form video script is about 3 pages. Mechanically, a standard reading pace translates to about 2 minutes of audio per page.
So a 3-page script gives you roughly a 6 to 8 minute video. That perfectly aligns with modern attention spans before viewer drop-off becomes fatal to the video's performance.
Exactly.
And I noticed they are incredibly intentional about the first 10 seconds of those scripts. One strategy breakdown we found on Reddit detailed the use of contrarian idea or unusual analogy hooks.
Oh, those are highly effective.
Right, like you never start by saying, today we will discuss savings accounts.
Because that's boring.
It is. You start by saying why hiding your money under your mattress is actually mathematically safer than using this specific bank.
Right.
You jolt the viewer's brain instantly.
Exactly. But, a brilliant script is still just a piece of content. To turn it into a business, we have to look at Make Money Matt's symbiotic system.
Okay, let's hear about the symbiotic system.
The foundational rule of this system is dangerous to ignore. Never rely on YouTube AdSense as your primary income.
Really?
Never. Never AdSense fluctuates based on seasonality and advertiser budgets. Instead, you create an interconnected network of shorter, highly engaging videos that serve one singular purpose: funneling traffic toward one massive, highly optimized money video.
Oh, the money video. That's the core engine of the business.
Right.
It isn't trying to go viral. It is trying to convert. This video specifically pitches a high-ticket affiliate product. We are talking about software or courses that offer a $500 to $1,000 commission per sale.
Huge margins.
Right. Because the commission is so high, you don't need millions of views. You just need a few dozen highly targeted buyers. And crucially, this money video sends viewers to a bridge page outside of YouTube to capture their email address before sending them to the product.
Grabbing that email address is vital because it insulates your business from YouTube's algorithm changes.
You own the list.
You own that audience directly.
Okay.
And there is a secondary tactic they use to maximize AdSense alongside those affiliate sales, known as the compilation hack.
I was hoping we'd talk about the compilation hack because it is brilliantly efficient.
It really is.
After a creator has spent months making these individual 6-minute videos. They take 10 to 15 of those older videos and stitch them together into one massive, 1-hour-long ultimate guide. Mechanically, YouTube allows you to manually place multiple mid-roll advertisements on any video longer than 8 minutes. By uploading a 1-hour compilation, the creator can legally stack 5, 6, or even 7 ads throughout the video.
It's wild.
It drastically skyrockets the RPM on content they already paid to produce months ago.
It's an incredibly calculated recycling of assets to maximize yield.
So what does this all mean? When I look at the symbiotic system, the compilation hack, the bridge pages, I visualize it as an intricate spider web.
A spider web, I like that.
Every piece of short-form content, every thumbnail, every script is just a silky thread. Its only purpose is to catch the viewer's attention and slowly pull them into the center of the web, where the real value, the money video and the email list, actually lives.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this spider web analogy perfectly illustrates how creators exploit YouTube's most heavily weighted metric, session time.
Session time.
The algorithm doesn't just care if a user watches your video. It intensely tracks whether your video keeps that user on the platform to watch a second, third, or fourth video. By creating this symbiotic network where videos constantly reference and link to each other, you trap the viewer in your ecosystem. You are signaling to the algorithm, my channel keeps people on YouTube, and the algorithm happily rewards that behavior with massive algorithmic distribution.
Listening to all of this, it almost sounds too easy.
I know, it does.
You allocate $78 for your tools, you pick a high RPM finance niche, you weave your spiderweb, and you print money. There has to be a massive catch here.
There is.
If the blueprint is this mathematically proven, what is actually killing these channels before they take off? Why do the vast majority of new creators fail?
Well, there are two distinct hurdles that wipe out the majority of beginners: psychological endurance and legal compliance. First, let's look at endurance. The data from FluxNote refers to a highly predictable period known as the zone of death.
The zone of death. That sounds intensely dramatic for a YouTube channel.
It is entirely psychological, and it typically occurs right around months 4 and 5 of a channel's lifespan.
Okay, what happens then?
During this period, a creator has likely spent money on their AI tools. They have spent their weekends batch producing content, they are posting consistently, and they are seeing absolutely 0 views and generating 0 revenue.
Ouch.
Mechanically, the algorithm simply does not have enough viewer data yet to know who to serve the videos to. It is incredibly demoralizing to work for 5 months in a vacuum.
I can imagine.
The compounding effect of the algorithm, where videos suddenly start getting pushed to thousands of people, usually doesn't trigger until months 8 to 12. The vast majority of creators simply quit right in the middle of the zone of death, mere weeks before their momentum would have started.
Wow. That requires a level of mental fortitude most people don't associate with making internet videos. You are essentially working a second job for free for almost a year.
Exactly.
But what about that second hurdle? What is the legal trap?
Copyright strikes. They are the undeniable guillotine of faceless channels.
Right.
YouTube operates on a strict 3-strike policy. If you receive 3 copyright strikes, your entire channel is permanently terminated. You lose your subscribers, your videos, and your revenue streams instantly.
Gone. Just like that.
And for faceless channels relying heavily on AI and compiled footage, the danger zones are everywhere.
Like what?
It might be using sketchy background tracks labeled copyright-free that actually belong to a music label, or using an AI image generator that accidentally regurgitates highly recognizable copyrighted material, like rendering a character that clearly looks like Mickey Mouse, or including a protected brand logo in the background of an image.
Because the AI was trained on massive data sets of copyrighted material, it doesn't know it's infringing. So, to protect themselves, these creators have to rely heavily on the doctrine of fair use. Our legal sources from Marketing Legion emphasize that for content to be considered fair use, it must be transformative.
Crucial word there, transformative.
Right. You have to limit the amount of copyrighted material you show, and you must add substantial educational commentary. But let me challenge that premise for a second.
Go for it.
If I am using an AI scriptwriter to research the topic, an AI generator to create my visuals, and an AI voice to narrate the video, how can I stand in front of YouTube or a court of law and genuinely claim that I'm adding transformative human commentary Where is the actual human transformation taking place?
This raises an important question, and it is the absolute crux of copyright law in the generative AI era.
Okay.
The legal distinction rests entirely on editorial intent. You are the director, not a bystander. The AI models merely provide the raw, unshaped assets.
Okay, I see.
Your strategic choices, how you edit those clips together, how you pace the narrative to build tension, the specific educational framing you apply to the topic, and the manual fact-checking you perform are what legally transform those isolated generated pieces into a cohesive fair use critique.
So it's about the final package.
Exactly. The machine did not wake up and decide to create a 10-minute educational documentary analyzing the collapse of a specific financial institution. You did. You are curating those assets to serve your specific human-driven thesis.
So the legal protection stems from the curation and the intention, not just the physical pressing of buttons. The value is in the architecture of the video.
Precisely.
Well, we have covered a massive amount of ground today. To synthesize all of this, succeeding with a faceless YouTube channel in 2026 is emphatically not about finding a magic AI tool that prints money while you sleep.
No, definitely not.
It requires a calculated business strategy. It's about choosing a high RPM educational niche, surviving the grueling psychological toll of the 5-month zone of death, and deploying a symbiotic system that values owned assets, like email lists and high-ticket affiliates, over vanity subscriber metrics.
Perfectly said.
Whether you are looking to start a highly scalable side hustle, or you simply want to better understand the mechanics of the digital media you consume every single day, the playbook is now entirely visible.
It provides a truly fascinating look at how the creator economy has matured from, vlogs in a bedroom to highly systematized media companies.
It really is a completely different landscape. Which leaves me with a final provocative thought for you to ponder, long after we wrap up here.
Right.
If these $78 AI tools can now artificially generate the sound of a human taking a breath, if they can simulate human vocal imperfections to build subconscious trust, and instantly conjure hyper-realistic footage that triggers our emotions perfectly on cue, what happens to the inherent value of human imperfection? Will we eventually reach a point where audiences become so fatigued by flawless AI-generated documentaries that they actively crave awkward, unautomated content just to verify that a real breathing human being is actually on the other side of the screen?